Hello from Evolve Law Summit in New York City. I'm Lawrence Coletti.
And I'm Phil Rosenthal.
And I'm Jules Miller.
And we're on the road with Legal Talk Network. And we're back. We're still at the Evolve Law Summit here in New York City in West Soho at the galvanized New York City campus, which is a great co-working share environment here. A bunch of open areas, tables, and private meeting areas. It's a terrific space. If you get a chance and you're in New York City, you should definitely check it out. So this was going to be our last interview of the day. We were packing up when this opportunity arose, and we have with us, of course, joining us again is Mr. Phil Rosenthal, Fastcase Phil, as we've known him, and he's going to talk a little bit about strategic partners, and more specifically the strategic partnership meetings he's had from a different perspective. And so, of course, Jules is going to interview him. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jules, so take it away.
So we're here at Galvanize, which is a very cool co-working space for startups, and we have a lot of legal tech startups here who are very excited to talk to potential corporate partners such as yourself. So tell me more about your experience meeting with the startups here.
Oh, I thought this was a fantastic event. There were so many startups. In fact, everyone I met, I thought had a really interesting business model. And it was also really encouraging because we talk so much in the community about how technology is going to solve the access to justice problem. And here, it wasn't talk. These folks are actually doing it. And I can see how some of what they're working on could really help people who aren't getting any service at all get legal representation.
So it restored your faith that access to justice will happen through technology.
It did in a very nice, concrete way.
Who was your favorite company that you met today?
Boy, it's hard to choose. There were so many great ones. Direct Law, Upsolve. Upsolve was an interesting example where it's trying to streamline the consumer bankruptcy filing process so that legal aid folks can handle it. Instead of taking 10 hours, they can take an hour and a half. And I thought, isn't that exactly what we've been talking about, to make it so that technology makes matters take less time, cost less money, more people get access, and it's what we're trying to do. And so we see a lot of great potential partners. At Fastcase, we think a lot about, well, of course, how to democratize the law, how to make legal research smarter, but also intelligent agents. How can we automate parts of the law that nobody wants to do, to make it so much easier for lawyers and to help them solve the access to justice problem. And so all the things we're concerned about kind of come together in a way that I thought was very powerful today.
What did you think about the founders who were actually running the companies? Were you impressed with what they were doing and why they were doing it? Is there hope for the next generation of lawyerpreneurs?
There really was, and they really were almost all motivated by a very public-spirited mission. They really saw, of course, every company tries to make money, but they really saw their mission as helping with access to justice, as helping make sure that the law stayed open and free. And so I thought it was really encouraging to see not just the products that were being built, but some really fine people involved.
What happens after this? Will you stay in touch with the companies you met?
Oh, absolutely. I'd like to stay in touch with all of them. I could see with a few of them actually doing a partnership. Maybe we can help sell their product. We work with all these bar associations. And so that 2/3 of all lawyers have Fastcase through the bars. And so we have this channel, and maybe we can help sell these products for these companies. But I think maybe we can help mentor them in some ways, help introduce them to folks. Somehow, my co-founder and I at Walters, we've been doing this for we're in our 18th year. And so if we can help bring along the next generation, that would be fantastic. And we'd like to stay in touch with all of them.
So for the folks who weren't here, if they want to reach out to you and contact you after the fact, how do they reach you?
Absolutely. So Fastcase, it's www.fastcase.com. Phil@fastcase.com is my email address, and would love to talk to any budding entrepreneur. There's so much we have to do together. Let's get started.
Well, it looks like we've reached the end of today's show for On the Road, and I want to thank our guest, Phil, also known as Fastcase Phil, for joining us today and talking a little bit more about the strategic partnership meetings that are coming out of the Evolve Law Summit meeting here in New York City. And I also want to thank Jules for co-hosting, actually really hosting the show today. I think it was a lot of fun, and thank you for inviting us from Legal Talk Network down to be part of your event.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I also want to thank our listeners for joining us today. And if you like what you heard today, please rate us on iTunes. We'll see you next time for another episode of On the Road with Legal Talk Network.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.